Welcome back to Brent Saying. I'm Brent Barnett. This is another episode in our ongoing Nothing But Options series, and today we're focusing on 2 up, 2 down, which is 2 rack toms, 2 floor toms, a kick and snare. Now I'm going to create a cymbal setup that I like, and I'm going to keep it that way throughout the entire segment. I'm also going to show a couple different tom placement variations, but while everything up top looks the same, everything on the ground is going to change throughout the entire video. What we're focusing on here is how adaptable Gibraltar Hardware is to help you create or customize your kit. Option J is a very interesting setup, and I would be willing to bet that most of you guys aren't familiar with something like this, because I wasn't familiar until someone showed it to me. What we did was we took the rack world, the stand world, and smashed them together. Now this is a hybrid. So what I did was I had cymbal stands for my legs, and then I've got the rack bars for the connector bars. So it's like a cymbal stand rack hybrid. Now the reason I did this was because you take some of the best aspects of both worlds and you get to use them both. It's got the floor space, it's all cleaned up. It's got the ease of the use of cymbal stands. It's got the ability to add a lot more stuff onto it than normal cymbal stands do without a whole lot more headache. And the best part is, we all own cymbal stands. We already have them. All you need to do is just add a rack bar to them. Now, I was able to keep my cymbal setup the exact same with just a little bit different combination of metals down at the bottom. I have part of my core, the rack toms, supported to the cymbal stands, just like in option A. But now, the cymbal stands become the support for everything. So my main crash is mounted to our support cymbal stand, the cymbal stand that's the center of everything here right now. My secondary crash and my splash are being mounted to a 24-inch curved wing that I actually have attached to the cymbal stand. I used the Super Multi-Clamp in order to attach the wing to the cymbal stand because it's a thicker, beefier clamp. The actual grabber portion is much larger than our traditional multi-clamp. So my floor tom side is a little rackier than the other. Yes, I do make up my own language as I go, but it's fun for me to do. I've got my main crash being mounted on a cymbal stand, which is also holding the rack tom. Now, my china in the back is mounted on a cymbal stand. Now these two cymbal stands are what's supporting the rack bar. Now from the rack bar, I've got my ride cymbal and my secondary crash. So here in option J1, we're continuing with the hybrid setup. I've got a hybrid of stands and racks, and it's great because I take the best of both worlds, and I'm using it in the offset configuration. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because there's a lot of you players that like to play stands and you like to play racks. And you're not, some of you may not be sure if you want to switch over to a rack. You don't have to with a hybrid setup because you're already halfway there. All you have to do is throw a bar up and then add some more cymbals to it. Now, I was able to keep the cymbal configuration, yes, exactly, the exact same way by combining 2 different worlds. Now there are 2 major changes that have occurred since our standard two toms over the bass drum hybrid setup. I've offset my toms, so I've moved everything over about 10 to 12 inches. Now that's caused me to have to change my mounting situation. So I used the clamp, the SC-DPC clamp, which is a tom mount that holds 2 ball L-arms that you can attach directly to a cymbal stand. The second major change was that I added another cymbal stand for my secondary crash over here. The reason I did that is because originally I mounted both this crash and the splash off of this 24-inch curved wing that was mounted to the cymbal stand. Since everything was moved over, now the weight distribution is different on the end of this arm. It's causing the cymbal stand to sway a little bit. I don't like that. I don't want it to move. So rather than have to worry about stability issues, I added another cymbal stand and I clamped the other end of that 24-inch bar to the stand. So now I've got a little mini rack that I made out of 2 cymbal stands and a 24-inch bar. And I attached my splash cymbal directly to it, and if I wanted to, I could make myself a little row of splashes right off that little mini rack. Now, my floor tom side, nothing's changed since option J. The ride cymbal has been moved a little bit, but it's been moved to right in front of me because I've offset the toms. It's a lot easier to play right here. Everything else, right in the same spot. Well, that's it for this segment of 2 Up, 2 Down. Thanks for watching. We have a lot of videos in the Nothing But Options series, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Or come to our channel where we have all our videos in the Nothing But Options playlist. Now, if you're interested in a full parts list of any setup that I did in this video, there's a PDF on our website where you can find the link down below in the description.